Hello, Cindy, how are you? Welcome. Let me just Oh, good. Wonderful. I'm just going to go to the video so I can see the live chat. I don't remember how to. Oh. Let's see. I'm just signing in on my computer so that I can see the live feed. Okay. Hello, Kelly. Let's see who else is here. You just want to check in and say hello. Hello, Robin. How are you? Good. Awesome. How is the weather? Where is everyone from, actually? It would be interesting to know. Oh, we just give it a few more minutes before people come in. Sunrise. Gypsy from the land of sunrise. Oh, Florida. Wonderful. Victoria, Australia. Wow. Thank you for being here. Oh, in Cleveland, Ohio. Wow. So we have some snow, but it's in New York today. It's not going to be much. I think it's going to die off sometime tonight. Okay, cold and rainy, and for Robin, yeah. Oh, Cindy, Illinois as well. Oh, no, different state. Hi, Latanya. Welcome. Welcome, Bernadette. Oh, from Maryland. Hi, butterfly, heart smiley. I was just in Maryland over the Christmas holidays, visiting some relatives. All right. So, we have, hi, Angel Wings. Welcome. Hi, Amy from Michigan, West Michigan. I have an aunt in Kalamazoo. And Cindy, you're in, did you say Ohio, Illinois? Oh, so you had the rainy and ice as well, huh? Thank God we don't have ice. Oof. Thank you. Thank you. So this is part 2. Oh, from Michigan as well. All right. And Mississippi. Wow. How about that? Shannon, welcome. What part of Maryland? Oh, from France. Jenny, welcome. I think it's called Upper Marlboro, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be part 2. And And I want to continue with what we did last time. Oh, awesome. And we're going to begin with April, May, and June in this session. And this time we're going to really try to see if we can, well, you know me, but see if we can do this within the hour, just so that it won't be too difficult and terribly long for other people to watch who won't be able to attend the live session. And, try to make some time for questions about our chat today. I won't be doing any personal readings as of yet in these chats, but, definitely questions are fine. It's just a personal reading would take me take more time and not allow me to probably just sort of answer some general questions that people may have about what was said today. So one of the things that you should be aware of, if you probably haven't noticed, is that I don't know what I'm going to say for these. And a lot of things that come through, like today's reading that I posted earlier today, like a lot of the information was so new to me. And a part of me, as I was saying, it was like, where is this coming from? But I'm familiar with it, and it's something I truly enjoy about this work. The expansion of information that just seems to come out of our collective presence, all of our higher selves. I sort of facilitate through your higher selves this information. This wisdom is stored in each one of us. And part of my role in showing up is to access that and to relay it in ways that all of us, including me, can hear it. So it's such a privilege for me, because I probably would not hear or learn as much as I do if it was not for these interactions. So I'm eternally grateful to Source God for that experience and that piece of it in my that represents my participation. Yeah. So anyway, so the thing is that how we're going to begin is, I like to begin with a meditation. If this is your first time, then let me know. And, I could explain a little bit just how things work for me. So I may go ahead and do that now. For me, the way that I receive the information is through symbols that I see. And the symbols can be words, or like I see words, but I always also interpret them symbolically. For example, I may see the word gay, and it does not mean someone's sexuality, but it actually represents coming out spiritually for the soul. So words get used in various ways, and it's just a sense or feeling I have in the context of the energy, the vibration. And that's what I was kind of talking about today, this vibrational language. It's so vast. I mean, sorry, there's something in my... It's so vast, and it's hard to put into words. And so words that we use are clarifying vibration, not really the other way around. So I also will see sort of drawings that look like, this very similar to artwork, or like in the tarot cards. And they are symbolic. I have these drawings that repeat to me quite often. They have become a language for me. But each time I interact with that symbol, it may feel differently, or it may evolve into something else as it starts out to be something similar to me. So, and sometimes those, let's say the tree, I've seen it evolve in many different ways, and new things that appear with this particular symbol. It's not always the same tree. I probably could say that rarely is the same tree, but it's holding the symbolism is holding a vibration, is holding it's holding data, consciousness that I experience, feel with all of my senses, and I understand it in terms of language as we use it. So you may hear me say things like that. Sometimes I'll just describe it, because if I don't get it right away, I've always found that if you don't understand guidance, then what you should do is just start talking about what you see and describe it, and then the information just comes right out of it. It's almost like you just keep tapping on it, so to speak, and it just unlocks itself for you. So, what I always like to do is begin with the meditation so that we can all get grounded. And, our intention is for each and every one of you to connect in with your own messages. And not just messages, but also we want to see how we can create the opportunities in each one of these months that we're looking at. So, I'm going to, as I did last time, I'm going to show you the cards. Buenos Aires. Oh, wonderful, Geraldine. And welcome. And so give you an opportunity to see the cards and to work with them in a meditation tool. So what you do is just sort of visualize it, stare at the card and just take the imagery into your consciousness. And then we close your eyes and walk into the card and see what information comes up for you. See what interactions, anything is some form of that anything that you encounter is an aspect of you that is unlocking. Okay, so don't discredit anything. Think about vibration. Think about how people say so much. I'm getting this kind of vibe, and people can be saying one thing, and yet you feel something else. Like what they're saying doesn't match, and so it causes you to keep probing. Now, in those cases, you also have to be aware, because vibration, or this sort of form of telepathy here, you get all of it. Even like if you don't understand what the person is saying based on what you're feeling, you may also be aware within that person's not ready to open up. It's not the right time for them. It may be what you want, but it's not the right time for them in that moment. And so, we get kind of hung up on, I want to know, but deep down on that level of frequency, that vibration, you do know. You just don't want to trust what you understand, even if it's not in terms that your brain can relate to it. You get it beyond the brain. You get it at the heart level. You get it at the soul level. And I know many times in my life, I have come up against this, and I'm not practicing, or I realize that I'm practicing the very thing that I'm afraid of, which is to say, when you get anxiety about what is this message, when you get in that position, when you feel that way, when you're stirring that condition for yourself, It means that you are not embracing on a deeper level what you know. And again, you may not be able to, what you know may not articulate to your mind. Your brain may be resisting it because it's not what it's looking for. So, that goes back to that thing, we have questions. We're seeking a specific answer. So our questions are based on that answer. And then when someone gives you an answer, you may not relate to it because you're not open to all possibilities. You're open to something specific. So you want the answer to be this. And that anxiety and that feeling of being unsettled has more to do with your own resistance, or I like to rephrase it to say, it's because you have not set your intention to be open to whatever possibilities of answers come to you. So within this process of using the cards to as a meditation, to step into the subconscious, to step into that frequency, that vibration that we're talking about, that field, that plane, that dimension, so that we can bypass the mind and our three-dimensional mind that likes to start picking at everything right away and putting it in neat little piles. You're looking for order, and so many times with divine guidance or the way the universe really unfolds, that kind of order is not what we really discover, right? So as you go in, the question really is, how can I create? What opportunities can I create for myself in that particular month? Or how should I focus my energies in that month to create the opportunities that are available to me? All right, so how should I focus my energies in that month to create the opportunities that are available to me? And this is a really important way of approaching the divine, because you're saying that you're part of the process, that you recognize that you have choice, that you have free will, and that it's really about you setting goals and looking to the universe to help you to realize them by showing you ways to focus your energy, to focus your vibration in such a way that you will resonate with the goals, the dreams, the success that you wish to really experience in your life. So that's what I really would like for you to get out of this, more so than what we, say that may happen, because the where we are right now, as this ascension process really unfolds, the layers of the veil, as they begin to really thin out, the illusions that we've given life to, such as, I don't know. I mean, you may have heard me say this before, but the biggest part to unlocking your intuition is to stop practicing, I don't know. Like, the more you say that, the more you attract that. Because when you say it, you become convinced that you don't. And you become anxious about it. And when you become anxious, things tense within you. So you pinch yourself off from the connection of guidance that you're placing your trust within. It's like walking into a room, wanting the lights to turn on, but what you're doing is turning them off instead of turning them on. And you feel like you're in the dark. you know? So very important that you, even when if you feel like you didn't get anything, pay attention to that deep down, deep below, that sense of something, like like you have a sense of something. And even though you may not have the specific words, just start describing what that something. Put it in any terms that you can relate to, and just start to keep flowing with it, and it'll turn into something. And from there, whatever that something becomes, then ask a question of that, but a question that allows you to figure out how to achieve that. Like how or what, when, how or what, basically. Avoid things like, is this going to happen? Will that happen? Because those are fate-based questions, which means you're going to put yourself in this place, right? You're putting yourself in this place where you're basically saying, I don't know, and you get yourself in that mindset where you're coming to the universe because you're anxious, because you think you should know, but you don't know, you think. And you don't learn to trust. You don't learn to trust. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about what I just said? Just to maybe take a pause, because sometimes I would just talk, and just to see if anybody has any questions about what I just said. Any clarification? Because I know, doing a reading for yourself or trusting your intuition is very challenging, and we can kind of get stuck by these little pitfalls. So that, like, when I eventually realized that I knew I had a sense of something, or I saw, even though it was like faded, or I saw it so quickly, I didn't think I had enough time to see it. But once I started telling myself, well, I think that's what I saw, then I began to, it became clearer. Or it lasted a little bit longer, or it's just that the information moved faster and I was able to keep up with it. But once I stopped saying I don't know and started saying I think I do, and then just stopped with all of that altogether and just going with it, it just started to flow a lot easier. Okay? So, any questions just before we begin? And last week I was using the Mary L. Tarot. And I believe I'm going to still use that deck. Okay, is there any tips for channeling to higher self and angels? What is the sign? Okay, so, first of all, the first thing that's coming to me, you don't have to reach for them. The concept of time and space, and I think I know you know this, but we just need to say it out loud, because, again, what we know deep inside, but our ego has set itself up. We have conditioned our ego to seem as though it doesn't understand some of these things. And so, first of all, here's the way to put it. The angels and your higher self want to communicate with you. They're on their part. There is no reason to for there to be anything to interfere from their end. They don't want to make it hard for you in any way, shape, or form. Jenny, I think I said at the beginning, I'm not doing personal readings. So if anyone wants a personal reading, you would contact me at my at the Angel School. So just because of what we have to do tonight, I'm sorry about that. And so, so they want to communicate with you. That's the first thing. What I do is, meditating and, centering your breath. I mean, each one of us has things, probably very elaborate things that we do. And what you have to understand is that whatever that is that you do helps you to believe that you can connect with them. You can connect with them the moment you just focus your intention, your consciousness, to wanting to be aware of their presence. That's how easy you can connect with your higher self, especially, and the angels. What can help you is gold light with the angels and your higher self. And in time, you may find other rays of light that may work for you as well, like white light or different shades of gold light or the violet flame or any of the, or lavender or, these things you may find work for you. You can always, what I do is I call on, I've been working with the angelic realms and the dragons within the angelic realm for some years now. And I, call on the fire dragons along with Archangel Michael to, sort of clear my space, my energy, place a firewall of love and protection around me. These are the things that just sort of help me feel aligned with that frequency. But the breath and the intention really of connecting with them and really, that you're going, you're sort of shutting out the outer world and opening up your inner world. So that meditation I usually do also helps, I think, with the heart flame. And that way you start right at the core of your being, at the center of your soul, and you invite that harmony, that love, that higher vibration when you step into the flame to set you in the same frequency bandwidth of that of your higher self and the angels. So when we do this meditation, I'll walk us through that, and that's one way. There are many ways, but I can tell you what will strengthen it for you, and it will cause you to feel as though it has strengthened it for you, is when you do it every day. That's where the connection really becomes stronger. Remember, it's not the connection from their end that needs to be stronger. It's our connection, because we, doubt so much, okay? Yep, wonderful. And you're getting a clear connection from that, the white feather. All right, so we better go ahead and begin. Oh, hi, Olivia. And, all right, the Christed light. Yes, Amy, very good. All right, so let's close our eyes and center our minds and just letting go And taking some really deep breaths. And you may already begin to feel just shifts take place as your higher self and your inner being already understands what your intention is. And so just allow yourself to relax into your breaths and to let go. Just have the intention of just wanting to release and let go. And I'm seeing a peacock again. And it just makes me think of the plumes, it just makes me think of that there's so many different ways, there's so many opportunities to connect with the divine each time you do it, because love is that infinite. That's what they're saying. And this is a message coming from God. And so just as you do this, like that peacock, just see you or sense in some way that you open your heart, that you just span open your heart chakra. And you're just being completely receptive to all the facets of divine love. All the facets of divine love, which includes God and the angels and unicorns and the dragons, so many facets. And they're writing joy. There's so many facets of joy as well. And all this exists within your soul. All of this is a part of the paradigm of your soul. And so release all of the tension and everything that's on your mind to this paradigm of love and joy that is infinite and filled with many, many facets. That is to say, many portals that lead you, that will guide you to the guidance of your soul, the knowing and wisdom of your soul. And see your heart flame set ablaze with the radiant pinks and gold mixed in with it. And I feel that there's emerald green around the parameters of your heart's chakra and that flame of great light within you. There's that emerald green energy. They wrote energy. And as you approach this flame, just release all and anything, whether it comes across your mind or not, anything that you need to let go of in order to be the highest version and to realize the highest potential of all of your gifts that your soul possesses. Set that intention to release all of that which no longer serves you and which you no longer need into your heart flame. And let it be transmuted into divine peace and grace. And then feel your feet, the energy beneath your feet. Feel this magnetic force anchoring you within the heart of your being, anchoring you within this love. And they're writing out trust. They want you to trust this, and they want you to anchor into this source of love and trust. Anchor yourself in this guidance. And just have the intention of connecting with your earth chakra. And as you connect in with this, they wrote the gold ray, so they want you to call in the golden light of the Christ. And this is the Christ consciousness. This is a 10th dimensional bandwidth of consciousness, and it is unconditional love and healing. And feel the energy of this ray of light as you are anchoring this in to your heart and into the earth. Continue to take some deep breaths and just continue to call on the gold light of the Christ. You're anchoring the gold light of the Christ. And connect that frequency into your earth star chakra as well. And we're going to ask the angels that have assembled around you, and the unicorns as well. We're going to ask the angels to activate each of your chakras, your 12 fifth dimensional chakras. And the unicorns are clearing away and taking away any energy that needs to be removed and cleared for you. So they're helping to purify your frequency for some huge shifts that are coming up for you. And they're writing about the mastery. This is this breakthrough year is about you mastering important lessons, not just bringing them up and going through them, but this time to master them. Remember, we had some 8s. I think we had several 8s last week in the cards that we pulled. And also connecting with the number 8 in your vibration to connect you with abundance. To know that that's something that is coming into the template of your consciousness. And part of your role and your job is going to be being aware with every step that you take. What is activating abundance consciousness? And what is activating lack? And so it's going to be really up to you to make choices, make decisions, to seek guidance that helps you to align with the abundance consciousness. and trust that this is what the universe truly wants you to have. There's no, well, you did this, so now you gotta pay back, you gotta pay up. So, this whole karma thing in that regard it's not like a noose around your neck or a ball and chain around your ankle anymore. It's the effects are immediate, but also your ability to recognize it, let it go, is also immediate. It will only appear that it's not because you are used to it being so in the old paradigm. That's why it's important to not take things personally any longer. Because when we do that, when we take something personally, we invest in it emotionally. Now, think about that. Why do we need to invest emotionally in the things that make us unhappy? We do that when we punish ourselves, when we feel guilty, or we start thinking like, oh, I did this and now I'm not going to be able to, experience what I want. That's why my conditions are the way they are. The universe is not saying that to you. It never has said that to us. But the old system was so sluggish because we all were, investing in it, in the guild, all of these contrived illusions, that it worked sluggishly, so that you really did believe that you had to pay back. I'm trying to avoid using words because I don't want to trigger, religious stuff, but you don't have to pay back anything. You were forgiven. Of course, you were never condemned in the first place to need forgiveness. But again, that was one of our illusions. What choice did you have to believe it when everybody was investing in this concept? And then the function of karma was so sluggish that it appeared like somebody was paying you back. No, it never was, and it never will be. And so when we take things personally, we get stuck. We start believing things, we start assuming things. And it doesn't have to be sluggish, because you can recognize in the moment the discord that you feel. And I would just like to say this, because it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. And it may have some loopholes, maybe a little faulty, but I'm going to say, as a general rule of thumb, it's better to think this way. When you feel confused, anxious, out of sort, that means that you're creating an illusion that you do not deserve. And that it also means that deep down, you know the right thing to do for yourself, but you're afraid to do that thing because we're so used to seeking the approval of everyone around us in our society, whether it's our families or our loved ones or our friends, that we don't know how. So we get so used to saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know because I don't know if they're going to like me if I'm this way, if I do this, or if I believe this. And so we just have to break that cycle and start going with our gut. Start going with what we believe. Whether it be right or wrong, it's better to be on your own side. You know what I mean? It's better to be on your own side. And you can learn. You definitely will learn, because you don't have to worry that you're going to go astray, because you are not alone. Your higher being will give you the understanding, will set up the conditions so that you can see what you're allowing. Okay? All right. Oh, wonderful, Amy. Hi, Indigo. How are you? Oh, don't worry about it, Lula. You're always on time. You're always on time. Okay, so I see. I'm going to ignore that. All right. All right. So let's begin. Let's begin with the month of April. And I'm going to use the Mariel Tarot again. And hopefully you can see the cards clearly enough boy, I really do have to get, where I'm supposed to be looking with the camera thing. But I'm hoping that you can see the cards and that you will be able to connect and be able to go in for the meditation. I would love to give us as much time as possible, but due to time, we probably won't. But don't worry about it. If you have a notebook or something, or you can write in the chat, what you experience, and you can always go back later if you don't have something to make notes, and review what you wrote here in the chat and then copy it down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk you through what I do. I want to explain everything, but I guess I'm just not going to be able to do that. I could do it another time, but I think I mentioned last time. So what I do is I call up first. I ask Source to overlight the angel reading. And then I call up the energy grid, the matrix, for whatever reading it is. So this is going to be for the month of April 2020. I call that up, and I'll explain that another time. And then I call up your I am presence, your higher self, and your multifaceted, multidimensional soul personality. And then I call up your Ascension God team of unconditional love. And that, for me, brings in all the dimensions of the reading that we need, okay? Hello from Oz. All right. Sorry, okay. So let's begin. And while I do this, I will shuffle the cards, and then I'll pull the card and I'll talk about it. Well, maybe what I'll do this time is, I'll just go with the flow, okay? All right. So we already still pretty grounded, so this won't take long. So let's just ask Source to overlight this reading for the month of April 2020. And let's see or feel or sense in some way that you're calling up the energy matrix for the month of April 2020. And it's a feeling that you just sort of direct your attention towards that energy and connect in with it. And then we call up each of and that is everyone who's watching now or who will be watching. We call up their I am presence, their higher self soul, and their multidimensional, multifaceted soul personalities. And we also call up our Ascension God teams of unconditional love. And we just set an intention as we breathe for clear, concise, accurate, and insightful guidance, and to connect with to connect and align with our higher purpose in this month. And all the possibilities that are available to us and that are open to us to create if we choose. And so you want to know, how can you align with that in such a way that it allows you to perceive it and a way to work towards creating it for yourself. And remember, you have infinite choice because you have free will. And if you really want to find answers to something you truly want to know, give yourself permission first. Give yourself permission to do what you love, because that's really what's creating the delays. On some level, just not feeling that we deserve. You know, someone asked about wanting to do, what was it, readings or something? And, you know, the question itself is, you know, and not judging you, but this is what we all do, is questioning whether or not we are good enough, or that we should be doing something that we love. When you love something and you're passionate about it and you're already invested on so many other levels of your being, then there is no question to ask, but now only to want to understand how you should pursue it, or how can you allow yourself to tap into what you want? How can you allow yourself to be open to what it is that you want? All right, so just April 2020. Okay. All right, so this is an interesting card. And remember, I talked about with this deck and any deck is that, you know, the images that come up is art, and is meant to tap into those aspects of our subconscious to awaken it so that that information can be released to you. So this card is the Queen of Swords, and it's going to be a striking one. I had this come up in one of my personal readings. Just take a look at the card, let me see if you can get away from that glare. And it looks like it's a raven that is one raven with, you know, several different heads, I think. And notice that third eye on its wings. Kind of interesting about that, isn't it? And one has his mouth wide open and the other one has his mouth closed. One is listening and one is speaking. But yet, there's that third eye that's just watching it all, the observer. So there's but observing from that higher perspective. So that would be like probably the third eye, the higher consciousness. And then this would be consciousness, observing, tapping into that higher wisdom, and the other, you know, just complaining and barking at everything. And the Queen of Swords, she sees right through people. You know, people come to her and they try to tell her all kinds of stuff, and she's not having it. She's just not having it. And she, when you're done, she's going to set everything straight. You know, she's going to tell you what's on her mind, and she's not going to hold back. And she's not doing it to hurt you, but she's doing it out of love so that you can get on track. Now, this card, I always think of my mother because she was a Libra and born in October, and she really exemplified these qualities. And I kept seeing her handwriting before I started the reading and just before I pulled the card. And so, you know, one of the things I feel like is that this is about in April, first of all, you're going to start to get on the right track. But that's not going to happen without you encountering or being confronted by your own truth. You know? And so you're going to, the thing is that, you know, you're going to keep struggling between this, you know, between listening and always, you know, talking and just being aware. It's almost like the queen has these three aspects of herself in terms of maturity, and the ultimate being that wise person. But, you know, sometimes we may not get it right, and we may say things that we don't mean to say. And then sometimes we don't know what to say, right? Like we're just, you know, kind of struck and don't know what to say. And so that feeling about that, I don't know. But this card and this queen is like, you do know, you know? Like, this is what it means by you're going to get back on track, because you're going to figure out, or you're going to get to this place where you say, I do know, don't I? You know, I know what's going on here. If it's a relationship or something at your job or something you want to do, you'll be like, I know what's going on, you know? And maybe something is going to show it to you that you do know that you did know what was going on. So be very, I want to say surprised, but that's not the right word, would it be? Because if we do know something, it's just going to be a validation or confirmation in this month. Like, I feel like there's some things about yourself or about your interactions with certain people, and something's been holding you back, and it's just going to come together and in this very poignant moment where you are all of a sudden going to flip into that part of the queen, and you're just going to say, you know what? I saw this coming, and I do know what's going on.
Reminders for Barry and Barry.
Oh boy, there's my Google. All right. So this is going to be really, really important for you in this month. So we just been talking about, isn't it interesting how we were just talking about I don't know, and that whole thing interfering with the trust in yourself. And in April, we're seeing that we're going to figure some things out. You know, we're gonna discover what we thought we didn't, what was hidden is gonna come to the light, and you may be the person to bring it to the light. You may be the person to tell it like it is, you know, because my mother was a very nice woman. I mean, big smile, big heart. But let me tell you, when you said something that she didn't agree with, she would set you straight about it. So, you know, the queen is often seen as somebody who, all the images, you know, she seems like somebody that's tough and hard to deal with, but they're at their core just all heart, but it's tough love. And so there's some energy of tough love Either you're going to toughen up, you're going to be tougher, or you're going to have to, put things straight in April, or you're going to put your affairs or something straight, or your relationships, or the things whatever you thought you didn't know, you're going to realize it. Okay? So what I want you to do is just take a moment to really look at this card. Take a deep breath and just try to gather as much information as you can observe from the card. And I know this may not be a card that we want to step into, but don't be afraid of anything, because nothing within the card wishes to do anything but to assist you. So remember that. And now close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And just simply recreate in your imagination what you see in this card, what you saw in the card. And you're asking how you can focus your energy to create the best opportunities that are available to you. Or just simply, how should I focus my energy? How should I use my energy in this month? Because so often we allow others, or we allow other things to influence our energy. So how should you use your energy in this month so that you can achieve your goals or your dreams? And just breathe. And again, if you feel confused or anxious, just know that that's resistance. And that means to keep interacting with the card until that one moment where it clicks for you, sort of a sense of peace, an aha, a knowing. And just jot down whatever that is very quickly. If you can't get a sense of it right now, just write down whatever came to you. If there was nothing very significant, write about that and just see where that leads you. There's no right or wrong answer. There's not a right way to get the information. There's not a big answer that everybody should be getting. This is not a test. You're not going to be graded. So whatever you get is really personal to you. And right now, as you close, you can take a deep breath, and whatever you got or you didn't get, acknowledge before the Queen of Swords that you trust that you will know in time, and that whatever you think you got, you will receive. Just making a commitment to not knowing anything but I don't know. You can just leave with, I think I know. Okay. Whoopla. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm going to pull another card for the month of May. And so let's just connect in. All we need to do now, I think, really is to call up the energy grid for the energy matrix for May 2020. this we do for everyone who is watching. We're okay. Okay. So we now have the Six of Swords. And so I'm trying to remember last time, we had the Eight of Swords. So we now have the Six of Swords for the month of May. And in this card, we have an angel, and it's the angel, it looks like the angel Raphael. And I don't have the book, but I'm just going to trust it's Archangel Raphael because of the way this looks. With the symbol here. But it looks like the Archangel Raphael in the picture where he's walking with Tobias, and he is, on that journey. So that's what makes me think of this. And of course, the snake symbol there. So, all right. So this card is in the month of May is about transitions. The Six of Swords, and just look at those wings and how the wings are enveloping, all those beautiful wings just enveloping both of these children. And it's a sense of being guided and protected, being assisted through this transition, and bringing some sense of stability and peace, bringing harmony. Okay, one of the things that the number 6 can represent, bringing a sense of harmony and peace to their journey. And so just tuning in for a moment to see, okay, so I'm seeing sort of just the knees down of someone sitting in a chair, but someone much older, and it's a sort of a caricature of someone older, sort of the way that these drawings are sort of portray people. And for me, when I see someone sitting in a chair, or when I usually see a chair, it's usually empty, actually. And that means a time for reflection, introspection, to observe. And it's the first time I'm seeing someone sit in a chair, and also just the legs. They don't seem to have any clothes on. They're naked, and they're aging, and they are vulnerable. So what this gives me a sense of, and then I saw a window, sort of, or doorway open next to them, and so the feeling. I want to go back to this part about just sort of being vulnerable and reflecting. So in this month, it seems like that you're going to be looking back, that part of your journey is also reflecting after this month of setting things straight. And you may not get it right, perfect. You get it out, but you may not get it out perfectly. With these different heads here, these different ways, and so you may need to just really recoup And it's also with that aging thing. It's like lessons learned. It's a sense I'm getting with this aged person sitting in that chair. That it's a person of experience, and so that you are going to transition into this person who really learns from their experience. It's like it all comes together for you, and these things that will pass. Will you will never? It's like you're done. You're never going to learn at that level with that thing again. I can't say that you're not going to repeat it again because that's up to you and your free will. But the energy would be set up for you to sort of mature, and through this reflection, you it's like a sobering moment in the month of May, that you really just wisen up, and you're ready to move on. You're ready to let go of anything that does not give you peace, that does not give you joy, that does not allow you the freedom to be who you truly are. Does that make sense? And especially in relationship to this card in its traditional sense, and the angels, Archangel Raphael, this tells us that you're going to be healing, yes, the caduceus. You're going to be healing relationships within yourself as well as with others. When you heal from within, you automatically shift how you automatically shift your reality, and you shift all the beliefs that have been creating the reality previously. So this month seems kind of it feels. I'm just going to say it because that's what it feels like. It feels serious, It feels sobering. It feels serious in a sense that you just grow up really fast in this month. Oh, I believe you. And the person, Amy, I think that this is just going to move towards that, even if it's starting for you right now, because it's starting for me too, and probably a lot of people. But it's going to come to a head. It's going to just really come to fruition more, and is the right way to say it, in that month. So April, we have we just stop pretending, right? Basically, in April, let me do it this way. In April, we stop pretending, and we start being honest and open and direct. And then afterwards, we just grow up. We just mature. We learn from this. We reflect on it. And, it's like you have peace within yourself. Like, I actually feel like that older person sitting there naked in that chair is some way maybe less being vulnerable, but more like having not a care left in the world, that they feel like, I can walk around my house naked. I can sit there, I can do that because I want to, and it's my choice. And that they realize, looking back, that it's always been their choice to, and that no one else, but they just gave away their power. Maybe we're going to all realize that we were just giving away our power so much to the care of what other people think and what they say. And that's what has been holding us back from knowing our power, knowing what was right for us. Okay. Oh, hi, Terry. And thanks for sharing that. I'm just such an astrology dummy. But I'll read that later. Maybe you have to break it down for me. But really appreciate that for other people who will definitely know. All right. So, like with the last card, I do want you to step into this card. And so, take some deep breaths. Just stare at the card. Don't worry about trying to get anything out of the card, and but just take in the card and look at the dog, and the dog really is looking at the Archangel Raphael here. Their souls are so much more in tune, right? Because they're not as distracted. They flow with their instincts. They have total alignment and no resistance with all of their senses. And that everyone is looking. Let me just look at it from my. Okay. Yeah. All right. So they're looking. It may not look like it to you, but they're actually looking to the left. So that can maybe indicate reflecting on the past. Okay. But learning from it, and it's helping you to move forward. And I think somebody said something about the inner child. Yeah. Okay, so just take a deep breath now. Close your eyes. Step into the card. Recreate it within your imagination first. And just observe, feel into the card, the energy. Notice what you feel. This is on the vibrational level. So the mind has no participation in this. The subconscious the vibration will offer up information to your mind. But if you feel like your mind is trying to figure something out, then that's where a block may occur. And just breathe. When that happens, just breathe. And then step into the card. And you can always put your attention to the bottom of your feet and connecting with your Earth Star chakra. And see what part of the card, of the scene now, you're drawn towards. Just let it come to you. And then again, ask, how can I focus my energy in the month of May to create the opportunities that are available to me? Just how I can focus my energy in that month to really achieve my goals. What do you sense? What do you see or hear, taste or smell? What do you know? What strikes you? What draws your attention? Whether you know or you think you know, go with whatever comes. And then very quickly, just write down whatever came to you. It was just a word or one thought. Trust that you'll know in time. Okay. And so, they're red. It's a lot of red. All right, and so I'm gonna go ahead and choose for the month of June. And so we're gonna call up the energy grid or the energy matrix for the month of June 2020. I'm seeing three things. Archangel Raphael, who's coming through. I'm seeing over a balcony, almost like somewhere in Italy, one of these beautiful places like this, where it's sunny and has those beautiful gardens, sort of like a podium that has a book on it, a very big one. And then I saw sort of 4 pillars, like what do you call those things outdoors? A gazebo or something? But it had roses, flowers, just sort of, around going up in a spiral. And then I saw Archangel Raphael, and I kept seeing this path just beyond the 4 pillars, the gazebo outdoors. It just seems like beautiful spring energy. All right, and I haven't even looked at the card yet. And this is going to be an interesting card. And it's the Knight of Wands, actually. Yes, the 4 of Wands. Yeah. The book, the big book, well, there's, it'll come to me probably. But now this card is going to be, again, kind of in contrast to that. This is 7, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands. Okay? And look, he has in his hand this thunderbolt. So, and I don't know what animal it is, but it has, it's dark, and the only thing you see is its eyes, and this thunderbolt are the 2 things that just stick out, and they strike at you. And, the hands of the animal kind of look very human. God, does anybody know what animal this is? I have no idea. But it looks like he's entering. I want to say, we'll just go with it almost looks like he's entering into something, right? Like he's entering into a cave. And the Knight of Wands usually, well, let's say, one thing is impulsive, but what is coming to me also is about that spiritual quest, right? That he's on that spiritual quest. And that he's, we often think of him as being sort of, not irrational, but impulsive. But this also says that he is, he's passionate. And I want to say, in this sense, about that spiritual quest, he's someone who's somewhat enlightened, right? Because in order to really want to pursue this kind of a quest, you have to be somewhat already awakened. And so he's going, and that she chose this dark image, with mainly, it's not totally, but it's got browns, right? And so there's that sense of earth, and that what's on his head is just light. A mongoose? I don't know, but there's just 2 eyes, and there just seems to be a lighter shadow on his forehead, which, is another part of him that's sort of lighter than the rest of himself. But it's like a wolf with human hands there. I know it's just sort of some combination of something, right? So whatever it is that sort of strikes you about it, but I feel like that something is going to strike you, something is going to, some kind of information, something, that's just going to stir, that's going to strike you suddenly. And it's just going to, all this passion is going to erupt from within you. And that you're going to go really within yourself it's going to cause you to go within yourself to really to draw this out of yourself. So that, it'll be like this flash of lightning, something that just strikes you. Hey, and you said, I want passion back. And that was a word that I saw before this card or the other one, back. It's like, and I was wondering what that meant. Like, I want something back, and maybe that's what this is. Like in this, it was in this card I saw back, and I forgot it. Is the first thing I saw, and then maybe here is where after you reflect and you get your priorities straight, you set things straight, then you reflect and you really get focused on what you want. Then you're ready to go after it. In the month of June, you're ready to go on this journey of the soul, and you're not going to be afraid of where that journey is going to take you. The darkness for me is the unconscious, the unknown. You're not going to be afraid of the unknown anymore, and you're going to trust it, as someone's just saying there, right? New direction of perception. Yeah. Yep. Totally agree, Terry. And you're just going to go for it. But you're going to have this new sense, this new awareness, and it's just going to be, you're going to be passionate. It's just going to sort of fill you up and catch you up, is another way of saying it. And you're just going to go at this. And with your eyes wide open, you're just gonna you have that inner light to guide you. Just all we're seeing is the light in his hands, and the light within his eyes is the things that really stick out. But we do see, for me, this is a cave, some kind of opening, and there's a light over his head as he's entering. And it's sort of that sense of leaving whatever that was behind. And, we say, well, why would you want to leave the light behind? Because we're thinking about dark and light in terms of good and bad. And what it is not that at all. This is about actually the external versus the internal, where we really need to direct our focus. That's the direction, as Terry was saying. That's the direction that we need to be creating from. So possibly what you will be, how you achieve your goal is to start to create, to be driven by your passions from within, to work from the internal, and out. Integrating yourself. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's take a moment, because we're going to start wrapping up. But let's take this card. I'm pretty sure that this is a simple image. But I tell you, these are the ones that are the most impactful when you go in. So take a moment to just look at the card and taking all the details. This is a good moment to explain this vibrational information, because what you're doing right now is just taking in all the details, and your mind doesn't know how to make sense of this language that art is, right? At first, that's why it takes time. That's why we have to interpret it, because your mind can't right away go click, 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 click. And that's a good thing. And so the art helps you to relax that rational mind, that thinking part of ourselves, and to let the soul, let our hearts engage with the vibration, the harmony that's there. All right, so now close your eyes, and now bring up that image in your mind, in your imagination. And now just scan the environment before you step in. Or if you're ready to step in and you already stepped in, go right ahead. And again, let yourself feel what's the information that's there for you. and step in. And you're asking that question again, how should I focus my energy in this month to create the most opportunities or to achieve my goals? And then whatever comes to you, just go with it. I really feel the card, everybody, the energy, the card is almost moving. And now just take a moment to write that down. Step out of the car, take some deep breaths. Whew. Okay. Yes, so people are already getting some information for themselves. And I keep thinking about the gazebo and the book and the Four Wands. There was, just for me, looking out over that balcony, there was so much potential. It reminds me of the Two of Wands, But that book, there was definitely words written there and information. And I think that thing about stepping onto the balcony is sort of stepping out and being able to perceive and understand the information that's around you. And, and then the gazebo is like sort of going beyond the balcony now and going out beyond the parameters of where you've been and celebrating. Celebrating life and this card is also the Four Wands for me is about ritual, the things, the continuity, the things that that gives our life meaning, how we mark occasions with some kind of ritual or celebration. And and then of course I saw Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Raphael is also the angel of relationships and love and travel, transitions. So there is definitely something that you're passionate about, something that comes together for you, something that is healing for you, something that revives your spirit, and you kind of find that for yourself. But all right, so I was just taking a look at the three cards together, and let me see, can I get this correct? So we just have this get in it, tell it like it is, being clear, being honest, and just, remember this is gonna take some time to break habits, right? And to step into this knowingness. But you're going to be setting the record straight. You're gonna get perspective, and then you're gonna reflect on that, and you're gonna really mature and just step into your power, where you're just gonna embrace your choices and kind of, with the like he was sitting in his house naked, it's like, you let your guard down, all those barriers, you get rid of them. And when you get rid of all of them, you're free to pursue your passions that were hidden within you. This image of all this darkness is like all that potential was just in there. And once we get past all this stuff, it's right there in the forefront. And it's the impulse that's motivating you. So, be aware that of the energy that you're going to feel very motivated. Once you do this work, you're going to really feel motivated, to pursue your passions. You're going to be free. It may be that you come back to some things that you had been wanting to do, and this time you're just completely free to realize it, to see it for what it is, and to follow those impulses. Yeah, it is that sense of but it's also that sense of what we can create. The darkness, it's the unknown, and then it's that potential. And so that's why I think this card is really, these impulses are gonna lead you in directions where you're able to realize new aspects of yourself, bring new potential to the forefront, and have it become a purpose and a passion that you work on and that you invest yourself in. All right. So we're going to stop here. And wow, thank you for the opportunity to connect with you and to see. It says, yes, it's answer. Okay, great. So, I will definitely go back and look at people's comments, and I hope that you were able to leave down, hi, Elfie, your comments there as well, because it'll be so awesome for everybody else to go back and look at and see, just see what we're all getting in terms of for ourselves. And then maybe be something there that you say that can help other people as well. All right. So everyone, oh, your chest feels hot. Woo, you must really be clearing and just a lot of heart energy work that's being done for you. All right. Thank you, Lula, Maria. And thank you, Sabra, Maurice, Raylene. Thank you, Indigo. Thank you. All have a great night. I think I can see from here. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.